From the dawn of human history, the world has been full of enigmas that defy explanation. Every stone, every artifact, and every shadow of the past carries whispers of mysteries scientists still struggle to understand. Some of these mysteries are subtle, hidden in plain sight. Others loom large, casting questions across time and space that challenge everything we think we know. We live in a universe governed by patterns, yet anomalies emerge, reminding us that certainty is often an illusion. The strange phenomena we explore today exist in the delicate balance between light and dark, the known and the unknown, inviting curiosity without demanding immediate answers. From vanished civilizations to inexplicable natural occurrences, these mysteries span human history, consciousness, and the natural world. They are stories of phenomena that evade full understanding, leaving us to wonder at forces just beyond our grasp. This journey will take us across centuries and continents, exploring events, objects, and occurrences that challenge reason, spark imagination, and linger quietly in the mind long after we stop observing. Some are subtle curiosities, others profound enigmas, yet all share a quality that captivates and soothes in equal measure: the gentle allure of the unknown. As we begin, it is important to embrace the uncertainty, allowing the mind to wander freely through shadows of history, strange phenomena, and peculiar behaviors of the natural world. Each mystery, though unresolved, opens a window into the complexity of our universe and ourselves. The stories ahead do not promise answers. Instead, they offer a calm, reflective exploration of the strange, the unexplained, and the quietly inexplicable patterns that shape our world. This is a journey for those who find comfort and fascination in lingering questions, for those who wish to explore mysteries without the need for resolution. Across the ages, ancient civilizations left behind clues that suggest knowledge, artistry, and technology often beyond their time. Monuments like the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and the Nazca Lines provoke both admiration and puzzlement. How did these societies achieve such precision without modern tools? How were vast stones transported, aligned with celestial bodies, or engraved with such accuracy? Archaeologists have developed theories, yet none fully explain the sheer scale and sophistication of these achievements. These structures stand as silent witnesses to ingenuity intertwined with enigma, inviting us to consider both human capability and the lingering mysteries of the past. Artifacts recovered from ancient sites add further intrigue. Objects with unknown purposes, materials that defy conventional explanations, and intricate tools whose construction challenges current understanding all hint at a depth of knowledge that is partially lost to time. Some items suggest ritual or astronomical significance, while others resist interpretation entirely. These remnants form a bridge between human history and the unknown, demonstrating that even in carefully documented eras, mysteries abound. The contrast between what we know and what remains unexplained is stark. While we can reconstruct society's basic structures and daily routines, questions linger about their deeper intentions, technologies, and beliefs. These uncertainties create a sense of wonder, echoing the broader mysteries of nature and consciousness. By observing these ancient civilizations, we begin to recognize a recurring theme. Human history is not only a chronicle of events, but also a tapestry of enigmas, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge often encounters the enduring presence of the inexplicable. Beyond human history, the natural world contains phenomena that defy full explanation. Unusual geological formations, strange animal behaviors, and atmospheric anomalies challenge our understanding of how the planet operates. From unexplained sounds in the deep ocean to sudden, localized weather events, nature produces moments that are both beautiful and baffling. Scientists study these occurrences, yet many remain unresolved, reminding us that the world retains hidden layers, quietly eluding comprehension. Consider the mysterious lights reported in skies across the globe. These luminous phenomena, sometimes captured in photographs or detailed in first-hand accounts, move or behave in ways inconsistent with known atmospheric or astronomical explanations. Similarly, creatures displaying extraordinary abilities or inexplicable behavior spark questions about evolution, adaptation, and biological limits. Even the tiniest organisms sometimes reveal patterns that challenge assumptions about life itself. These natural mysteries create a bridge between human curiosity and the unknown forces operating beyond our immediate perception. They illustrate that, like ancient civilizations or consciousness, the world contains phenomena that resist full understanding. Each observation, whether it's a fleeting light or an unusual sound, invites reflection and careful attention. The natural world, in its quiet unpredictability, reminds us that mystery is a fundamental aspect of existence, a soft tension between observation and wonder that encourages curiosity without demanding immediate explanation. As the quiet rhythms of life and the subtle enigmas of nature settle gently into awareness, the narrative naturally shifts toward the echoes of human history. Those whispers left behind by civilizations long gone, artifacts whose purposes remain obscured, and events that defy full explanation. While biology shows us the hidden patterns of life itself, history reveals the hidden patterns of human thought, ambition, and creativity. The past, like the deep oceans, is largely uncharted, holding secrets that continue to intrigue, puzzle, and inspire curiosity centuries after they first appeared. Some of these mysteries emerge from grand civilizations, their ruins scattered across continents. Others are small, almost intimate traces left in remote locations, speaking softly across time to anyone patient enough to listen. Consider the enduring enigma of the Nazca lines in Peru. These immense geoglyphs, etched into the desert plains, depict animals, plants, and geometric patterns so large that they are fully appreciable only from the air. Scholars have debated their purpose for decades. Some suggest they were astronomical calendars. Others propose ceremonial pathways, while a few theories flirt with the idea of ancient communication with celestial beings. Yet despite advanced technology and decades of study, the lines still resist definitive explanation. Their creators vanished, leaving only these silent, sweeping patterns, a reminder that human ingenuity can sometimes produce wonders whose meaning fades faster than their form. Standing above the desert, one can almost feel the presence of those long-gone hands that carved the earth, a humbling testament to our species' creative and mysterious impulses. Far to the north, the stone structures of Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey challenge everything historians thought they knew about the dawn of civilization. Constructed over 11,000 years ago, this complex predates agriculture and organized settlement in ways previously thought impossible. Massive stone pillars, carved with intricate depictions of animals and abstract symbols, suggest a level of sophistication and social organization far earlier than conventional timelines allow. How such structures were built, who built them, and why they were abandoned remains a profound mystery. The site is a quiet echo of human curiosity and ritual, a place where the line between the known and the unknowable is almost tangible, and where even the stones seem to whisper questions rather than answers. Some mysteries are far smaller, but equally perplexing. The Voynich manuscript, a book filled with unknown script and bizarre illustrations, continues to defy decoding despite the combined efforts of linguists, cryptographers, and historians. Its pages depict plants that may not exist, astronomical diagrams that remain unintelligible, and human figures engaged in rituals that elude interpretation. Every attempted decryption has only deepened the sense of wonder surrounding it. Here, the mystery resides not in grand architecture, but in the intimate record of a mind, or minds, whose meaning has become inaccessible to modern observers. The manuscript is a gentle invitation to imagine, to wonder at the persistence of human creativity and the limits of our understanding. Artifacts discovered across the world often carry similar quiet enigmas. The Antikythera mechanism, recovered from a shipwreck off the coast of Greece, is an ancient analog device that models the movement of the stars and planets. Dating back to around 100 BCE, it demonstrates a technological sophistication thought impossible for its time. The precision gears, calibrated to astronomical cycles, reveal an intellect capable of merging mathematics, observation, and craftsmanship in ways modern scholars still struggle to fully reconstruct. How knowledge of such technology emerged and why it seemingly disappeared remains unresolved. It is a reminder that history is rarely linear and that human invention can leap across epochs, leaving us both in awe and in quiet contemplation of what has been lost. In some places, human remains themselves hold mysteries. The mummified bodies found in the deserts of Egypt, the high Andes, and remote Asian valleys sometimes defy modern understanding through their preservation, their burial rituals, or even their placement within landscapes. Some were buried with elaborate ceremonies, others with minimal traces, yet many share an aura of intention, hinting at beliefs and knowledge that have vanished alongside their bearers. Each body, each artifact, and each ruin serves as a message from the past, a puzzle for the present to ponder. The quiet persistence of these mysteries encourages a patient, reflective engagement with history rather than a rush to explanation. Beyond the tangible, historical anomalies appear in stories passed through generations. Tales of lost cities, vanished civilizations, and inexplicable events recorded in chronicles. The sudden disappearance of the ancestral Puebloans from the American Southwest, leaving behind cliff dwellings intact but largely abandoned, continues to fascinate archaeologists. Environmental pressures, social upheaval, and resource scarcity are part of the explanation, yet none fully captures the human drama, the moment-to-moment decisions, and the emotions that would have accompanied such a departure. These absences are as telling as any artifact, a subtle reminder that human history is filled with questions we may never definitively answer, yet can still appreciate and reflect upon. The tension between fact and speculation often makes historical mysteries particularly compelling. The construction of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, for instance, has been studied for centuries. How ancient engineers moved massive stones with such precision, aligned them astronomically, and created a structure that has endured millennia remains partially explained, but not fully. The pyramids are both a triumph of human ingenuity and a lingering puzzle, a contrast that invites calm contemplation rather than frantic conclusion. It is this space, the space between the known achievements and the unknown methods, that creates a quiet fascination, a recognition of human potential that feels almost magical. Some mysteries extend beyond physical evidence to questions of knowledge itself. Ancient maps depicting lands that were supposedly undiscovered, cryptic symbols carved in remote locations, and oral traditions that accurately preserved astronomical knowledge challenge assumptions about the progression of human understanding. These anomalies suggest that humans, even in the distant past, may have had insights and experiences that remain partially hidden to modern investigators. History, therefore, is not merely a record of events, but a dialogue across time, inviting the curious listener to trace lines between what we know and what continues to elude understanding. In the quiet of night, contemplating these historical mysteries produces a unique sensation. It is a soft tension, a sense of wonder without urgency, a reminder that the world is far larger than the sum of documented events. As one moves through the echoes of lost civilizations, mysterious manuscripts, and unexplained artifacts, there's a recognition that the human story is layered, complex, and deeply intertwined with the mysteries of the natural world. Each discovery or anomaly is a bridge, linking the present to the past, imagination to observation, and knowledge to the enduring unknown. The allure of these mysteries lies not in solving them quickly, but in the act of engaging with them thoughtfully. The mind is invited to wander through deserts and temples, over oceans and valleys, and into the quiet spaces of human history, where questions outnumber answers. As the listener absorbs these stories, there emerges a pattern, a continuity of curiosity that links the inventors, observers, and storytellers of the past to the explorers and scholars of the present. It is a gentle, persistent reminder that mystery is part of the human experience, as integral as discovery, and that reflection can be as profound as explanation. By the close of this section, a subtle bridge forms between the mysteries of life and nature and the mysteries of human endeavor. The patterns observed in animals, the unexpected behaviors of life, and the hidden forces of the earth echo in human history. Civilizations rise and vanish, artifacts appear and confound, and knowledge can leap forward and yet disappear. Each mystery, whether natural or human-made, invites the same response: patient attention, quiet curiosity, and a willingness to dwell in the space between understanding and wonder. It is in this space, soft and expansive, that the journey continues, moving naturally from the echoes of human history to the curiosities of the mind itself, where perception, cognition, and consciousness produce enigmas no less compelling than those hidden in the desert sands or ocean depths. Even as we explore the ruins of civilizations long past, the enigmas of human history naturally lead to the mysteries within our own minds. Consciousness, perception, and memory form a landscape as intricate and elusive as the deepest jungles or the vastest oceans. While science has uncovered much about the brain structure, chemical processes, and electrical impulses, there remain phenomena that elude precise understanding. How dreams weave together fragments of experience, why intuition sometimes surpasses reason, and how humans perceive patterns that may not exist are questions that straddle the line between science and mystery. They remind us that the human mind, like the earth itself, holds layers of complexity still largely unexplored. Consider the phenomenon of déjà vu, a fleeting sensation of familiarity in a moment we know should feel new. Psychologists and neuroscientists have proposed theories involving memory misfires or temporal overlaps in brain processing, yet none fully capture the eeriness and consistency of the experience. People describe it as stepping into a memory that never occurred, a bridge between what is real and what feels almost remembered. Déjà vu is a subtle reminder that perception is not always a faithful reflection of reality, and that our sense of time, experience, and consciousness is more fragile and mysterious than we might assume. Each fleeting instance leaves a quiet impression, as if the mind itself is hinting at hidden layers of awareness. Dreams form another window into the mysteries of the human mind. Each night, people enter vivid landscapes of imagination where logic often bends and ordinary rules dissolve. Dreams can be serene, terrifying, or surreal, sometimes prescient, sometimes absurd, yet always revealing something about the brain's inner workings. Neuroscientists suggest that dreaming helps process memories and emotions, but the narratives themselves, why certain symbols recur, why unknown faces appear, why we can experience impossible scenarios, remain largely unexplained. Dreams remind us that consciousness is not a single, static state, but a fluid spectrum in which perception and imagination intermingle in ways that defy full explanation. They invite reflection on the relationship between reality and the mind's interpretive power, a gentle mystery that lingers even after waking. Other phenomena, such as hypnosis and altered states of consciousness, offer similarly intriguing mysteries. People under hypnosis can access memories, perform unusual feats, or experience changes in perception that seem to bypass ordinary limitations. While the mechanisms are partially understood, the depth of the mind's latent capacities remains largely hidden. Cultural and historical practices, from meditation and ritual trance to sensory deprivation experiments, suggest that consciousness is not fixed but malleable, capable of extending beyond what ordinary experience might suggest. Each demonstration of altered perception underscores a central truth. The human mind contains dimensions that cannot be fully captured by observation or measurement alone. Memory itself, presents one of the most profound cognitive enigmas. We trust our recollections to navigate life, yet memory is far from infallible. Individuals can misremember events with remarkable confidence, or even recall things that never happened at all. Some memories persist across decades with stunning clarity, while others fade in moments. The mechanisms behind these variations, the selectivity of what is retained, and the inexplicable persistence of certain emotional memories remain only partially understood. Here, the tension between fact and perception becomes palpable, echoing the earlier mysteries of history and nature. Just as ancient manuscripts and lost civilizations challenge our understanding, the mind's own recollections reveal that even our grasp of personal history is layered with uncertainty. Human intuition and creativity are equally mysterious. Artists, inventors, and thinkers often describe moments of insight that arise spontaneously, without apparent cause or conscious reasoning. These sudden flashes can lead to scientific breakthroughs, profound works of art, or personal revelations, suggesting that the mind operates in realms beyond deliberate thought. Cognitive scientists have begun to explore the neural and chemical correlates of intuition, but the experience itself, its immediacy, its accuracy, and its timing, remains largely inexplicable. There is a subtle parallel here with the enigmatic behaviors observed in animals or the inexplicable decisions of ancient civilizations. Patterns emerge that hint at intelligence, awareness, or design that we cannot fully trace or predict. Perception itself is a field of quiet mystery. Optical illusions demonstrate that the brain interprets visual information in ways that can distort reality, revealing the subjective nature of experience. Auditory hallucinations, phantom sensations, and the brain's ability to fill in gaps or create entirely imagined experiences further underscore the unreliability of perception. Even our senses, which we consider our primary connection to the external world, can deceive us, leaving lingering questions about what is real, what is imagined, and where one ends and the other begins. These subtle discrepancies remind us that our experience of reality is a constructed phenomenon, filtered through mechanisms we barely understand, and that mystery resides not only in the external world, but within ourselves. Some of the most striking cognitive enigmas are reported in extreme or altered conditions. Near-death experiences, for example, are recounted across cultures with remarkable consistency. Sensations of floating, moving through tunnels of light, or encountering beings of indescribable presence. While skeptics attribute these experiences to brain chemistry under duress, the vividness, emotional intensity, and transformative impact on those who undergo them resist simple explanation. Similarly, cases of savant abilities, extraordinary skill or knowledge arising in individuals with atypical neurological profiles, demonstrate capacities the ordinary brain rarely achieves. These anomalies suggest that the mind has untapped potential, operating on levels and through processes that conventional understanding cannot fully map. The intersection of memory, consciousness, and perception also manifests in the subtle influence of subconscious processes. Human decisions, preferences, and judgments are shaped by factors outside our awareness, sometimes with profound consequences. People may sense danger, opportunity, or emotion before consciously recognizing it, echoing the intuitive navigation seen in animals. Dreams, intuition, and subconscious insight all converge to form a layered reality in which our conscious mind is only the tip of a vast iceberg of cognition. Recognizing this hidden dimension is both humbling and exhilarating, offering a sense that even ordinary life is imbued with quiet mystery. The study of human cognition increasingly blurs with philosophical reflection. If our perception of reality is inherently partial, if memory is malleable, and if consciousness extends into realms we barely grasp, then what does it mean to know anything at all? The questions raised are not merely academic. They touch upon the lived experience of being human, the intimacy of thought, and the profound uncertainty embedded in existence. The mind itself becomes a microcosm of the larger mysteries explored in the natural world and in human history, a realm in which curiosity, patience, and reflective attention are more valuable than certainty. In the quiet of night, contemplating the mysteries of consciousness fosters a gentle, meditative awareness. Each fleeting thought, dream, or intuition becomes a thread in an intricate tapestry of perception. The mind, like the desert plains of ancient civilizations or the uncharted depths of the ocean, is both familiar and unknowable. Its secrets are subtle, often whispering rather than declaring, requiring attention, stillness, and openness to perceive. It is in this contemplative space that the listener is invited to dwell, tracing the continuity between the hidden dimensions of the natural world, the enigmas of human history, and the profound, ineffable mysteries of their own cognition. By the end of this exploration, a pattern begins to emerge. Life, history, and consciousness are all domains in which the known and the unknown exist in delicate balance. Just as ancient monuments silently challenge our understanding and biological anomalies hint at forces beyond current knowledge, the human mind offers experiences that defy easy categorization. Intuition, memory, dreams, and perception are reminders that mystery is not a flaw in understanding, but a fundamental feature of existence. Each unanswered question, each inexplicable phenomenon, is an invitation to linger in curiosity, to appreciate the richness of experience, and to move gently forward toward the next layer of the unknown. Having wandered through the quiet intricacies of the human mind, the next path leads outward once again, to the broader, physical world where phenomena defy explanation and challenge our understanding of natural law. Just as consciousness reveals layers of perception and intuition beyond immediate comprehension, the Earth itself, along with the universe beyond it, presents anomalies that science has yet to fully decode. From lights dancing in remote skies to uncharted geological events, the natural world hums with mysteries that whisper rather than shout, inviting patient observation and reflective wonder. These phenomena exist at the intersection of knowledge and enigma, where careful measurement meets inexplicable occurrence, and where the familiar patterns of daily life are interrupted by the extraordinary. One of the most enduring and widely reported mysteries is that of ball lightning. Descriptions of luminous spheres appearing during storms, sometimes hovering or moving in seemingly deliberate ways, have fascinated and confounded observers for centuries. Witnesses recount these glowing orbs with equal measures of awe and fear, often describing sensations of warmth, subtle sounds, or even movement through walls. While atmospheric scientists have developed several models attempting to explain the phenomenon, ranging from plasma formations to chemical reactions in the air, none fully captures the consistency and unpredictability reported in historical accounts. Ball lightning stands as a reminder that even in well-studied environments, nature can produce phenomena that resist conventional explanation, offering both beauty and unease in its ephemeral presence. Far above, in the night sky, unexplained aerial lights, sometimes recorded as UAPs or unidentified aerial phenomena, continue to provoke curiosity and debate. Across cultures and centuries, humans have reported luminous objects moving in ways that seem to defy gravity or known propulsion methods. While modern technology has allowed for more precise observation and data collection, many of these occurrences remain unresolved, neither fully confirmed nor entirely dismissed. They challenge assumptions about what is possible and prompt questions about perception, technology, and the limits of human observation. There is a quiet tension in considering that the sky, which seems so familiar, may harbor phenomena beyond our current comprehension. Beneath the ocean waves, the planet conceals additional mysteries. Unexplained sounds, deep-sea formations, and anomalies recorded by sonar and remote cameras suggest that vast realms remain virtually untouched and unknown. Some sounds, like the bloop, have been analyzed for decades, revealing unusual acoustic signatures that defy straightforward classification. The depths of the oceans, dark and immense, mirror the complexities of the mind explored earlier, largely hidden, only partially accessible, and full of potential surprises. The ocean, in its patient silence, holds reminders that human knowledge is bounded and that the unknown persists even in the most systematically studied environments. Geological and atmospheric phenomena, too, present lingering enigmas. Spontaneous soil combustion, sudden sinkholes, or unexplained atmospheric anomalies challenge conventional scientific understanding. In some cases, these events are documented with precision, yet the underlying causes remain disputed or partially understood. Volcanic and seismic activity, while often predictable in certain patterns, occasionally produce unexpected behaviors that prompt reevaluation of established models. There is a subtle beauty in this unpredictability. It signals a planet that is alive, dynamic, and capable of producing events that are both awe-inspiring and mysterious, much like the consciousness and intuition explored within human cognition. Even phenomena that seem to touch on the improbable border of science and folklore capture attention. Reports of spontaneous human combustion, inexplicable weather phenomena localized in certain regions, and persistent electromagnetic anomalies create a landscape in which observation is only the first step toward understanding. Science can measure and describe aspects of these events, yet the underlying causes often remain hidden, leaving a soft tension between explanation and wonder. These mysteries, unlike those confined to the mind or historical artifacts, exist in the shared space of our physical reality, accessible to observation but resistant to definitive resolution. What ties these physical anomalies together is their subtle interplay of regularity and exception. Just as intuition or déjà vu occurs in otherwise predictable cognitive patterns, ball lightning, oceanic sounds, and aerial phenomena emerge sporadically within largely comprehensible natural systems. The contrast between the ordinary and the extraordinary heightens curiosity, creating a reflective space in which questions are more compelling than answers. Observing such events fosters humility and patience, teaching that the natural world is not fully graspable through logic alone, and that sometimes the greatest wonder lies in the persistence of the unexplained. In contemplating these physical mysteries, one also senses a quiet continuity with the earlier themes of the mind and human history. Human perception and intuition are called upon to witness these anomalies. Historical artifacts reflect human engagement with the world, and natural phenomena test the limits of observation and imagination. Each instance, whether in the depths of the ocean, the vast sky, or the shifting atmosphere, invites careful attention and calm curiosity. The mysteries are gentle guides, encouraging the listener to pause, reflect, and allow a sense of wonder to unfold organically. By the end of this section, the listener is subtly prepared for the next exploration, the intersection of human history and unexplained physical phenomena. Just as the mind harbors hidden depths, and the earth contains elusive occurrences, human encounters with the strange, the inexplicable, and the seemingly impossible form a bridge between what is observable and what remains mysterious. The narrative now moves naturally towards stories of unexplained discoveries, unusual events recorded in historical documents, and the persistent enigma of human interaction with forces beyond current understanding. In this quiet, reflective space, curiosity is nurtured, ready to follow the thread of the unknown into ever more intriguing corners of history, science, and perception. From the hidden anomalies of the natural world, our attention gradually turns back toward human history, where the boundaries between documented fact and lingering mystery are often indistinct. Just as ball lightning, oceanic sounds, and unexplained aerial phenomena hint at layers of reality beyond immediate comprehension, historical events occasionally carry whispers of the inexplicable, inviting us to question what we think we know. Accounts of sudden disappearances, unrecorded occurrences, and phenomena recorded in chronicles centuries old create a bridge between empirical observation and the enduring enigma of human experience. In these moments, The past feels alive, layered with both certainty and uncertainty, as though each generation glimpsed fragments of a larger story that remains tantalizingly incomplete. Some of the most compelling examples emerge from medieval chronicles, which often combine careful record-keeping with accounts of occurrences that resist modern rational explanation. Chroniclers wrote of mysterious lights over battlefields, sudden plagues with inexplicable origins, or apparitions that seem to intervene in human affairs. While skepticism encourages us to attribute such accounts to superstition, imagination, or misinterpretation, the consistency and recurrence of certain phenomena across different regions and centuries suggests something more complex. These records remind us that history is not merely a linear narrative of cause and effect, but a tapestry woven from both observable events and the unexplained forces that accompanied them, shaping human perception and memory. One notable instance involves the strange celestial phenomena reported across Europe during the 16th and 17th centuries. Across different regions, observers described glowing spheres, unusual cloud formations, and fiery apparitions in the night sky. These sightings, meticulously recorded in diaries, letters, and official reports, coincided with moments of societal upheaval, such as wars, famines, and political transitions. Historians have debated whether these events were meteorological, astronomical, or purely psychological in origin. Yet the recurrence of such phenomena in multiple locations, independent of one another, preserves a sense of collective mystery. It is as if the heavens themselves were participating in the unfolding drama of human history, a subtle reminder that our world is connected to broader forces that remain partially hidden. Strange disappearances and unsolved events add another layer of intrigue to the historical record. Entire villages vanish from maps. Ships are lost at sea under conditions that should have been survivable, and explorers return from expeditions with accounts so unusual that they defy verification. The case of the Roanoke colony, where settlers vanish from the New World, leaving behind only the cryptic word Croton, is emblematic of this phenomenon. Despite centuries of research and numerous theories, no conclusive explanation has emerged. These mysteries capture the imagination precisely because they resist closure. They stand as reminders that even in times of relatively meticulous record-keeping, gaps remain that challenge our understanding of both human capability and fate itself. Ancient engineering marvels further illustrate the tension between historical knowledge and lingering mystery. Structures such as the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, or the megalithic temples of Malta showcase human ingenuity, yet the exact methods of construction, the purpose of certain alignments, and the rationale behind monumental scale are subjects of ongoing debate. Archaeologists and historians propose various theories based on material evidence, but each explanation encounters gaps that invite speculation. These marvels, like natural phenomena or the workings of the mind, exist at the boundary between the known and the unknown. They encourage reflection on human creativity, resourcefulness, and the enduring presence of mysteries that endure even after centuries of observation and study. Historical accounts of unusual weather patterns, seismic events, and natural disasters also weave together scientific observation and unexplained phenomena. In some cases, catastrophic floods, fires, or storms are recorded alongside descriptions of unusual lights, sounds, or behaviors in animals that modern science struggles to interpret. While climatologists and geologists can often reconstruct aspects of these events, certain details remain elusive, preserved only in the narratives passed down through generations. These intersections of human observation, natural forces, and unexplained occurrences create a tapestry of mystery, emphasizing that history is not simply a catalog of dates and names, but an experiential record of human encounters with the strange and the unknown. Throughout history, there are also instances where unexplainable events influenced human decision-making or cultural development. Kings and rulers consulted astrologers, shamans, or soothsayers to interpret signs that often involve natural or celestial phenomena beyond immediate understanding. Entire societies sometimes acted on interpretations of events that modern science might classify as coincidence or misperception. Yet these beliefs shaped the trajectory of empires, migrations, and cultural evolution. The fact that unexplainable occurrences could wield such influence underscores their significance. They were not mere curiosities, but forces that interacted with human agency, guiding choices, shaping belief systems, and altering historical outcomes in subtle, yet profound ways. Religious and spiritual contexts provide another lens for exploring historical mysteries. Sacred texts, rituals, and myths frequently recount events that challenge modern explanation. Visions, unexplained healings, or miracles that defy natural laws. While faith traditions interpret these occurrences through theological frameworks, the persistence of similar phenomena across diverse cultures suggests common experiences of the inexplicable. Whether viewed as symbolic, spiritual, or literal, these accounts contribute to the broader sense that history is interwoven with mystery. Objects from the past often carry a quiet weight, a presence that transcends time. Some of these objects, however, seem to do more than whisper. They challenge the very boundaries of history and science. They are known as out-of-place artifacts, or OO parts, items whose existence, design, or material composition seems to contradict the knowledge and technology of the era in which they were found. These artifacts are not merely curiosities to be cataloged in dusty museum drawers. They are enigmas that persistently tug at the edge of our understanding, inviting questions that science has yet to fully answer. They are relics that force us to pause, to consider that human history may be more layered and complex than we comfortably imagine. One of the most famous examples is the Antikythera mechanism, a device recovered from a Roman-era shipwreck off the coast of Greece. At first glance, it appeared to be nothing more than a corroded bronze mass, a mere curiosity in the holdings of a small museum. Yet upon closer examination, scientists realized that this artifact was far more sophisticated than anything else known from its time. It contained a complex system of interlocking gears, capable of predicting astronomical positions and eclipses with astonishing accuracy. The Antikythera mechanism is essentially an ancient analog computer, its intricate engineering predating similar devices by over a millennium. Scholars have marveled at the precision and ingenuity required to create such an instrument, and while many theories attempt to explain its origins and purpose, none fully satisfy the sense of awe it evokes. The artifact stands as a testament to human innovation, but also as a reminder that the timeline of technological achievement may be far less linear than we assume. Equally perplexing is the Baghdad battery, discovered in modern-day Iraq, which consists of a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. While initially dismissed as a mundane object, some researchers have suggested that it may have functioned as a primitive galvanic cell capable of producing a small electrical current. If this hypothesis is correct, it implies that people thousands of years ago may have understood electricity long before the modern age. Yet there is no direct evidence of wiring, batteries, or electrical applications from that period, leaving the artifact shrouded in mystery. Was it truly a tool for generating energy, or merely a coincidental arrangement of materials whose original purpose has been lost to time? The question lingers, unanswered, like a soft hum from the distant past. Other objects seem almost playful in their defiance of expectation. Perfectly spherical stone balls, some weighing hundreds of kilograms, have been discovered in Central America. Their precision and symmetry are remarkable, especially considering the tools that would have been available to the cultures that crafted them. These spheres appear deliberately placed, yet their exact purpose remains unknown. Some speculate they were ceremonial markers, symbols of cosmic significance, or even objects designed to demonstrate a mastery of geometry and craftsmanship. Each theory offers a tantalizing glimpse, yet none fully explains why these spheres exist in such perfection, and why they appear across multiple, widely separated cultures. Their presence is both beautiful and confounding, bridging the gap between artistry and enigma. Metal artifacts present yet another layer of intrigue. In various parts of the world, objects have been discovered that are composed of alloys or metals that should not have been possible to create with contemporary knowledge. For instance, in some ancient sites, small metallic fragments have been found that are highly resistant to corrosion and display unusual structural properties. Laboratory tests sometimes reveal compositions and hardness levels that modern metallurgy would struggle to replicate, even with today's advanced technology. These materials raise questions about the techniques and knowledge available to early civilizations, suggesting that the past may have harbored specialized expertise that has since vanished. The silence of history allows us only speculation, leaving these artifacts to speak quietly across the millennia, hinting at forgotten brilliance. Perhaps what makes these objects so compelling is the tension between their tangible reality and the stories they imply. Each artifact is a concrete piece of evidence that someone, somewhere, created something extraordinary. Yet their context is often incomplete, their full stories obscured by time. This interplay between what is known and what is unknowable mirrors the very essence of the human fascination with mystery. There's an almost meditative quality in contemplating these items. The observer is invited to imagine the hands that shaped them, the minds that designed them, and the worlds in which they existed. The act of wondering becomes itself an intimate connection across centuries, a quiet communion with history's shadows. These objects also illuminate a broader philosophical reflection, the nature of knowledge itself. Modern science relies on evidence, experimentation, and reproducibility, yet artifacts like these resist easy classification. They remind us that our understanding of the past is provisional, subject to revision, and dependent on fragments that have survived by chance. They challenge the assumption that history is a straight line of progress and force us to consider that the accumulation of human knowledge may have been punctuated with moments of brilliance that were lost, forgotten, or hidden. In this way, OOP arts do more than puzzle. They inspire humility and awe, inviting us to appreciate the depths of human creativity and the mysteries that endure beyond written records. The stories of these artifacts often intersect with folklore, legend, and even myth. The narratives passed down alongside the objects, whether about advanced ancient societies, secret knowledge, or lost technologies, can feel as enigmatic as the artifacts themselves. These stories are not evidence, and yet they echo the same questions. Who created these items? How were they made? What purpose did they serve? The layering of myth and material creates a sense of poetic ambiguity, a space where imagination and inquiry coexist in quiet tension. It is this delicate balance between evidence and speculation, fact and wonder, that makes the study of OOP arts such a captivating subject for those who are drawn to the edges of human understanding. Finally, these objects invite reflection not only on the past, but also on our own approach to knowledge. They whisper that the universe and human history within it is far more complex than the stories we tell ourselves. They remind us to listen attentively, to observe carefully, and to accept that some questions may remain unanswered. In the stillness of contemplation, these artifacts become more than mere objects. They are gateways into a broader meditation on mystery itself. For the listener, they create a calm sense of curiosity, a gentle wonder that does not demand immediate resolution but encourages lingering thought. In this way, OOP arts are not only windows into the past, they are companions for the mind, guiding us quietly along the shadowed corridors of history and imagination, where the known and the unknown coexist in serene tension. Disappearances have always held a quiet, haunting fascination. There is something profoundly unsettling about the way a person, a group, or even a vessel can exist one moment and vanish the next, leaving behind traces that tantalize without explaining. Unlike other mysteries grounded in objects or natural phenomena, disappearances are deeply human. They touch on our empathy, our imagination, and our instinctual need to find closure. Across history, countless cases have defied logic, resisting attempts at explanation despite the meticulous work of investigators, historians, and scientists. They linger like shadows in memory, a quiet reminder that some stories are meant to remain unresolved. Some of the earliest and most enigmatic disappearances occurred long ago, in times when record-keeping was scarce and survival was fragile. The lost colony of Roanoke, established in the late 16th century on the coast of what is now North Carolina, vanished almost entirely within a few years of settlement. When supplies arrived from England to find the colony, the settlers were gone. There were no signs of struggle, no bodies, and only a single clue carved into a post, the word Croton. Theories abound: assimilation into local tribes, disease, or migration, but none fully account for the total disappearance. The story remains as ethereal as mist over the coastline, blending fact and speculation, leaving a quiet tension between historical evidence and enduring mystery. The sea itself has been a stage for countless unexplained vanishings, often magnified by the loneliness and unpredictability of water. The Mary Celeste, a merchant ship found adrift in 1872, contained everything the crew would have needed to survive. Cargo intact, personal belongings in place, provisions abundant. Yet the entire crew was missing, leaving behind only subtle signs that hinted at a hasty departure but told no story of what truly happened. Oceanographers, historians, and writers have proposed storms, mutiny, piracy, or even supernatural interference, but the truth remains elusive. The narrative of the Mary Celeste has persisted for centuries. Its quiet, haunting image emblematic of humanity's fascination with unexplained absences. In more modern times, disappearances can be equally baffling, occurring within the context of advanced technology and extensive record-keeping. Aircraft vanish from radar screens, hikers disappear in well-trodden paths, and entire communities can leave no trace of where they went. Consider the mystery of Flight MH370, which vanished in 2014 while carrying hundreds of passengers across the Indian Ocean. Despite exhaustive searches and international cooperation, the main wreckage has never been conclusively located, and the sequence of events remains uncertain. The tension between our technological sophistication and the persistence of these enigmas intensifies the sense of awe, highlighting how human understanding, even at its most advanced, can be humbled by disappearance. Disappearances are not limited to people or vessels. Sometimes objects vanish without explanation, leaving questions as haunting as those surrounding human cases. Lost artifacts, entire libraries, or cultural treasures can suddenly slip into obscurity, sometimes recovered decades or centuries later, often altered or incomplete. These vanishings amplify the quiet uncertainty embedded in history, reminding us that absence itself can become a form of evidence. The interplay between what is present and what is missing creates a subtle narrative tension that calls upon both logic and imagination, asking us to consider what might lie beyond our reach. A particularly compelling aspect of these disappearances is their connection to human psychology and memory. People who vanish often leave behind only traces in the minds of others, memories, diaries, or reports that cannot be corroborated. Over time, these traces blend with legend and rumor, creating layers of narrative that resist disentanglement. Witness accounts may conflict, clues may mislead, and records may be lost, forming a delicate veil that prevents final understanding. It is in this quiet space between evidence and imagination that disappearances hold their enduring power. They encourage reflection on mortality, uncertainty, and the fragility of presence itself. The geographical and environmental context of disappearances can also be significant. Dense forests, vast deserts, turbulent seas, and isolated mountain ranges all provide natural arenas where humans can vanish. Yet disappearances also occur in familiar, urban settings, disappearances that defy the idea that mystery belongs only to the wild. Even in the midst of crowded cities, people have walked away, leaving questions behind that law enforcement, family, and community cannot fully resolve. The contrast between ordinary life and sudden absence underscores the delicate balance between presence and disappearance, familiarity and enigma. Some vanishings are intimately tied to time. Individuals or groups may disappear in moments of decision, under stress, or at pivotal historical junctures, leaving only the echo of their existence. Ancient migrations, sudden retreats, or unexplained evacuations reveal patterns that hint at both human agency and forces beyond comprehension. Even when evidence is plentiful, the reasons for disappearance can remain stubbornly opaque, as if history itself has deliberately withheld the answer. These events teach us that absence can be as significant as presence, a quiet testament to the limits of observation and understanding. The human response to disappearances is itself a kind of mystery. Stories are passed down, theories proposed, and investigations launched, yet the fascination rarely diminishes. Unlike phenomena that can be observed or measured repeatedly, disappearances remain singular, often unique events. This rarity heightens their allure, creating a space for speculation and imagination. The calm, reflective approach to contemplating them, rather than sensationalizing, allows us to appreciate the quiet power of absence and the questions it leaves behind. In listening carefully to these stories, one can feel the weight of history, the fragility of human life, and the subtle persistence of mystery across generations. Disappearance cases also intersect with culture and folklore. Stories of missing people, haunted locations, or untraceable voyages often evolve into legends, blending factual threads with imaginative extensions. These narratives do not necessarily diminish the significance of the events. Rather, they enhance the sense of timelessness and the human need to reconcile absence with meaning. Folklore and myth become soft companions to evidence, echoing the mysteries in ways that purely factual accounts cannot. Through this lens, disappearances become not just historical anomalies, but also cultural touchstones, quietly influencing art, literature, and collective memory. Ultimately, disappearances teach us about patience and humility. They remind us that not all questions have immediate answers, and that some aspects of the human experience resist closure. In reflecting on vanishings, one comes to understand the delicate interplay between presence and absence, certainty and doubt. The human mind, vast and intricate, is one of the most mysterious frontiers of all. Despite centuries of study, advances in neuroscience, and sophisticated technology, there remain phenomena of thought, perception, and consciousness that elude clear explanation. These enigmas occupy a space where science meets the intangible, where measurable brain activity exists alongside experiences that seem to transcend the physical. In exploring the mysteries of the mind, we encounter a quiet tension between what we know and what remains inaccessible, a tension that invites reflection, curiosity, and a gentle sense of wonder. Some of the most compelling mysteries involve memory and perception. Déjà vu, the sensation of having experienced a moment before, has puzzled psychologists for generations. The phenomenon occurs spontaneously, often in ordinary circumstances, yet the feeling is undeniably vivid and compelling. Explanations range from minor neural misfires to temporal overlaps in memory processing, but none capture the full richness of the experience. It is a subtle reminder that the mind can generate sensations that feel profoundly real even when they lack an observable external trigger. In this quiet dissonance between experience and explanation, déjà vu reveals the complexity and unpredictability of human cognition. Equally perplexing are sudden bursts of extraordinary mental ability. Cases of acquired savant syndrome, in which individuals develop remarkable artistic, mathematical, or musical skills following a brain injury or neurological event, challenge our understanding of latent potential. How can a mind suddenly access abilities previously dormant? What mechanisms allow one aspect of cognition to flourish while others may falter? These rare phenomena highlight the flexibility and resilience of the brain while emphasizing its enduring mysteries. Observing such cases invites reflection on the untapped capacities that may lie within every mind, quietly waiting for conditions we do not yet comprehend. Mass psychological events present another layer of intrigue. Collective experiences, such as shared visions, group hallucinations, or phenomena like mass hysteria, demonstrate that consciousness is not entirely isolated. Communities can exhibit behaviors and perceptions that defy conventional logic, revealing patterns that are difficult to quantify or predict. Scientists and historians have documented numerous cases across cultures and eras, from strange outbreaks of movement or emotion to simultaneous sensory experiences reported by groups of individuals. The phenomenon of collective cognition blurs the boundary between individual and shared reality, hinting at a subtle, mysterious connectivity that science has only begun to explore. Dreams themselves remain one of the mind's most profound mysteries. Every night, the brain constructs intricate narratives, sometimes reflective of our daily concerns, sometimes utterly fantastical. Lucid dreams, in which a person becomes aware of dreaming and can influence the narrative, raise questions about the nature of consciousness and self-awareness. Even the study of sleep cycles, REM patterns, and brainwave activity does not fully illuminate why dreams take the forms they do, why they sometimes foretell events, or why recurring symbols appear across cultures and individuals. In this space, between sleep and waking, the mind performs acts of quiet creation that remain largely ineffable, a testament to the richness and enigma of human cognition. Some mysteries of the mind intersect with near-death experiences and altered states of consciousness. Individuals who have approached death, experienced intense trauma, or engaged in profound meditation often report perceptions of light, timelessness, or a sense of detachment from a body. Neuroscience can measure changes in brain activity during these states, yet the subjective quality, the vividness, the emotional resonance, defies complete scientific explanation. These experiences exist at the boundary between measurable phenomena and the ineffable, inviting questions about the nature of consciousness itself. They illustrate the delicate balance between biology and perception, fact and mystery, and the enduring allure of what lies beyond empirical observation. Perception, too, presents subtle enigmas. Optical illusions, synesthesia, and other unusual sensory experiences reveal that the mind interprets the world in ways that may depart dramatically from reality. In synesthesia, for example, numbers may evoke colors or sounds may be associated with shapes, creating a rich, layered internal world inaccessible to those without the condition. These phenomena underscore that perception is not a simple recording of external events, but an active construction of reality by the brain, colored by biology, experience, and perhaps unknown variables. The mind, in this sense, becomes both observer and creator, a universe unto itself, where the familiar becomes strange and the strange becomes familiar. Memory offers another landscape of mystery. False memories, repressed recollections, and instances of hyperthymesia, where individuals can recall extraordinarily detailed life experiences, illustrate the unreliability and flexibility of human recollection. Memory is neither static nor absolute. It is reconstructed each time it is accessed, influenced by perception, emotion, and context. This fluidity can explain why two witnesses to the same event often recall it differently, or why memories can feel vivid and certain even when demonstrably inaccurate. Such phenomena challenge our understanding of truth, identity, and the continuity of self, creating a quiet space for reflection on the fragility and depth of human consciousness. Intuition and unexplained cognitive leaps add yet another layer to the mind's mysteries. Inventors, artists, and thinkers throughout history have reported moments of sudden insight, ideas crystallizing seemingly out of nowhere. These flashes often appear without conscious effort, as if the mind is drawing from a hidden reservoir of knowledge. Modern neuroscience can identify patterns of brain activity preceding insight, yet the subjective experience, the sudden clarity and creative inspiration, remains difficult to fully explain. In these moments, the mind functions as both enigma and guide, offering glimpses into processes that are at once ordinary and extraordinary, accessible yet ultimately elusive. Even the darker corners of cognition hold mystery. Cases of dissociative identity disorder, extreme amnesia, and psychogenic fugues reveal the mind's ability to fragment, conceal, or reshape experience in ways that challenge conventional understanding. While psychology offers frameworks to interpret these phenomena, the lived reality of these conditions often surpasses what can be measured or categorized. These enigmas underscore the complexity of selfhood and the subtle interplay between biology, experience, and the mechanisms of consciousness. They remind us that the mind is not a passive vessel, but an active, dynamic system, capable of producing experiences that may seem impossible to outsiders. Ultimately, exploring the mind's mysteries encourages humility, reflection, and a gentle curiosity. The natural world is filled with creatures that both inspire wonder and defy easy explanation. Some are entirely real, known to science, yet still exhibiting behaviors that astonish. Others occupy the hazy boundary between fact and folklore, glimpsed fleetingly at the edges of human perception. This quiet tension between observation and imagination has drawn human attention for centuries, prompting both scientific inquiry and mythic storytelling. From dense forests to uncharted seas, the world is home to animals whose lives and patterns remain only partially understood, leaving us to marvel at the limits of our knowledge. Even well-documented species can exhibit behavior that feels almost impossible. Certain migratory animals, for example, navigate thousands of kilometers with uncanny precision, traversing landscapes they have never seen before. Birds, sea turtles, and even monarch butterflies undertake journeys guided by instincts that science can describe but not fully replicate or predict. Similarly, some marine creatures appear to sense changes in the environment that humans cannot detect. Whales and sharks have been observed reacting to distant seismic activity or approaching storms, their behaviors hinting at a sensory awareness far beyond our own. These subtle abilities, quietly performed across time and space, create a sense of mystery in otherwise ordinary ecosystems. Then there are creatures whose very existence is questioned, yet evidence persists in forms both tangible and anecdotal. Big cats in regions far from their native habitats, enormous serpents reported in isolated lakes, and elusive primates sighted in dense jungles all straddle the line between myth and zoology. While many sightings are dismissed as misidentifications, the consistency of some reports over decades suggests that parts of the natural world remain hidden from our understanding. These glimpses, often brief and fleeting, evoke a calm but persistent curiosity. What else might exist just beyond the boundaries of our observation, quietly moving through the shadows? Some of these enigmatic creatures have sparked global intrigue due to their seeming impossibility. Consider reports of deep-sea animals that survive at extreme pressures and temperatures, environments once thought uninhabitable. From giant squids surfacing occasionally to previously unknown bioluminescent species, the ocean continues to reveal organisms that challenge our assumptions about life. Each discovery carries a dual sensation, a reassurance that nature follows some patterns and rules, and a reminder that it can still surprise us profoundly. The world of animals, in this sense, is a living library of mysteries, each species a quiet keeper of secrets we are only beginning to comprehend. The interaction between humans and these creatures often adds another layer of intrigue. Indigenous cultures, for instance, have long observed animals that Western science either overlooked or dismissed, noting behaviors, appearances, and movements that do not appear in textbooks. These observations, passed down through oral tradition, highlight that mystery is not always a product of ignorance, but of perspective. While the creatures themselves remain elusive, The consistency of human experience across generations provides subtle hints of patterns that science has yet to fully capture. In this way, mythology and first-hand observation converge, creating a calm, contemplative space where imagination and evidence coexist. Behavioral anomalies also contribute to the sense of the uncanny. Some animals demonstrate extraordinary problem-solving skills, mimicry, or social structures that challenge what we understand about cognition. Crows, dolphins, and elephants, for instance, exhibit forms of intelligence and emotional awareness that were long considered uniquely human. Even more perplexing are species that seem to exhibit preternatural sensitivity to environmental threats, detecting dangers invisible to us. Observing these abilities evokes a quiet awe, a recognition that the intelligence of life is vast, multifaceted, and often hidden in plain sight. Such moments invite reflection on our own place within the broader web of life. In the end, the creatures that straddle the line between myth and fact remind us of the limits of observation and the vastness of the unknown. They invite us to slow down, to notice the world with careful attention, and to accept that even what we can see may conceal mysteries beneath the surface. The natural world, with its hidden patterns and surprising behaviors, becomes a quiet teacher, encouraging humility, patience, and a contemplative appreciation of life. In this calm engagement with the unknown, we find the gentle thrill of discovery without urgency, the quiet pleasure of knowing that some secrets exist simply to be admired from a distance. These creatures, whether fully documented or glimpsed only in fleeting reports, are companions for the imagination. They remind us that the earth is alive with possibility, a living tapestry that extends beyond our immediate perception. By observing, contemplating, and respecting these enigmas, we enter into a reflective dialogue with nature itself. The unknown is not a void to fear, but a space to inhabit, a gentle invitation to wonder. In the presence of these animals, real or mythical, the listener is encouraged to drift in curiosity, to feel the quiet pulse of life in its many mysterious forms, and to appreciate the subtle, enduring magic of the natural world. Numbers have always held a special place in the human imagination. They are more than just symbols or tools for counting. They are woven deeply into the fabric of the universe, appearing in patterns, structures, and phenomena across time and space. From the spirals of seashells to the laws of physics, numbers seem to emerge naturally, almost as though they are the secret language of nature itself. Yet, despite their ubiquity and importance, there remain aspects of numbers that elude our understanding, opening a quiet space of mystery between their precision and the abstraction they embody. The fascination with numbers often begins with their basic properties, simple concepts that children learn early but that hide much deeper, often unseen mysteries. Prime numbers, for example, are a source of endless fascination for mathematicians and enthusiasts alike. These numbers, divisible only by 1 in themselves, appear randomly throughout the number line, without any predictable pattern. Despite centuries of study, mathematicians still cannot predict where the next prime number will appear. This unpredictability, this quiet randomness within the structure of numbers, sparks a sense of mystery. How can something as seemingly simple as a prime number remain so elusive, resisting the efforts of even the most advanced minds? Perhaps one of the most enigmatic numerical concepts is pi symbol, the irrational number representing the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Pi, which begins as 3.14159 and continues infinitely without repeating, has captivated mathematicians for millennia. Its presence in the very structure of circles, spheres, and other geometric forms suggests an intrinsic link between geometry and the fabric of reality. Yet, despite its mathematical beauty and near-universal occurrence, pi is infinitely complex. Its digits never repeat or form a pattern, which means it can never be fully comprehended or expressed. This paradox, where something as simple as a circle leads to a number that defies completion, illustrates the quiet tension between certainty and mystery that runs through mathematics. There's also the connection between numbers and the natural world. The Fibonacci sequence, for example, a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, appears in the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the patterns of a sunflower, and even the spirals of galaxies. The sequence reflects an inherent order in nature, a rhythm that seems to guide growth, structure, and form. Yet, the deeper we look, the more elusive this connection becomes. How do these abstract numerical patterns translate into the physical structures we observe in nature? What does it say about the fundamental nature of reality that such mathematical patterns are encoded in everything from the formation of hurricanes to the structure of DNA? The relationship between numbers and nature is not one of simple cause and effect, but of a more profound, almost mystical alignment. The study of numbers is not confined to geometry or the natural world. It also plays a significant role in the development of human culture and technology. From the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Mayans to modern computer science, numbers have been central to human progress. The concept of zero, which emerged in India over 1,000 years ago, revolutionized mathematics and our understanding of the universe. It was a profound abstraction, a symbol that represented nothingness, and yet was essential to the expression of everything. Zero allowed for the development of algebra, calculus, and eventually computer algorithms. It introduced a whole new dimension to our understanding of space, time, and matter. However, the deeper we delve into the mysteries of numbers, the more we encounter paradoxes and inconsistencies that suggest there is more to learn than we can currently comprehend. For instance, the concept of infinity, an idea fundamental to both mathematics and cosmology, continues to challenge our understanding. The number line stretches endlessly in both directions, and the concept of infinity provides a mathematical framework for understanding the universe's vastness. Yet, infinity is not a number in itself. It is a concept, an idea that can be grasped only in the abstract. The paradox of infinity lies in its vastness and its ability to be applied to the smallest conceivable quantities. In both mathematics and physics, the notion of infinity raises questions about the very nature of the universe. How can something be both endless and tangible? How can a number, by definition, not be counted yet shape the very structure of everything? In more contemporary times, the relationship between numbers and technology has introduced new layers of mystery. The binary system, composed solely of ones and zeros, forms the basis for all modern computing. But these two simple digits, when arranged in specific patterns, have unlocked the potential to create entire virtual worlds, process complex data, and simulate intelligence. This profound simplicity of the binary code raises a philosophical question. If two numbers so fundamentally basic can give rise to such complexity, what else in the universe operates on such deceptively simple principles? Are there hidden codes in nature, in the very fabric of reality, that we have yet to discover? In this sense, numbers may not only describe the world around us, they may be the key to unlocking new layers of understanding. Another curious connection exists between numbers and human consciousness, particularly in the realm of numerology. Though not scientifically recognized, numerology, the belief in mystical significance of numbers, has played a role in cultures across the world for millennia. From ancient Egypt to the more recent popularization in the Western world, numbers like 3, 7, and 11 have been thought to have divine or mystical powers. What is it about numbers that sparks such profound belief? Is it the repetitive patterns, the sense of order they provide, or the deep human desire to find meaning in the abstract? This intersection of psychology, mysticism, and numeracy shows how numbers transcend their utilitarian function and tap into deeper human desires for connection, meaning, and understanding. In fact, many of the greatest scientific discoveries and artistic achievements have been influenced by the interplay between numbers and human creativity. The golden ratio, for example, which is closely related to the Fibonacci sequence, has been used in art, architecture, and music to create harmony and balance. From the proportions of ancient Greek temples to the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci, this numerical pattern appears as a quiet, hidden guide to beauty and symmetry. The golden ratio suggests that mathematics, far from being an abstract, detached field, is intimately linked to the aesthetic experience of the world around us. The ability to see the connection between numbers and beauty is an expression of the human mind's deep capacity for pattern recognition, a skill that not only serves scientific discovery, but enriches our emotional and creative lives. However, just as there are patterns and connections that reveal deep truths about the universe, there are also mysteries that remain unresolved. Mathematicians and physicists alike wrestle with the question of whether there are other mathematical structures beyond those we currently understand. Are there higher dimensions, unseen forces, or untapped aspects of reality that could be understood through new systems of numbers and equations? As technology advances and new theories in quantum mechanics and string theory emerge, it is becoming increasingly clear that the universe may be far more complex than the number systems we currently employ can capture. It is in this quiet space of uncertainty that the deepest mysteries of numbers reside, a space where human understanding meets the vast, untapped potential of the unknown. Numbers, in their infinite and often baffling complexity, are both a tool and a riddle. They are a language we use to describe the world, yet they remain enigmatic, capable of revealing only as much as we are able to perceive. The deeper we look, the more mysteries unfold, and the more questions emerge. It is in this tension between certainty and the unknown that numbers continue to captivate the human mind. As we move forward in our exploration of the universe, numbers will undoubtedly remain our closest companions, silent guides that help us navigate the vast, mysterious terrain of existence, even as they remind us that there is always more to discover. Throughout history, there have been countless accounts of objects, some ordinary, others extraordinary, that have vanished without a trace. These disappearances, both large and small, remain shrouded in mystery, often giving rise to speculation, legend, and theories that seem to hover at the edge of the known world. The missing objects in question aren't always the most obvious. Sometimes they are items of great historical, cultural, or personal significance, and at other times, they're things so ordinary that their loss is almost inexplicable. Yet in each case, the gap left behind in their absence creates a space of quiet intrigue, where the question, "Where did it go?" lingers in the air, unanswered. One of the most famous examples of such a mystery is the disappearance of the lost Ark of the Covenant. For centuries, this biblical artifact, said to hold the tablets of the Ten Commandments, has captivated the imaginations of historians, archaeologists, and adventurers alike. According to the Bible, the Ark was kept in the Holy of Holies in Solomon's temple, but when the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem in 586 BCE, the Ark vanished. Despite numerous claims of sightings, no one has ever been able to definitively prove its location. Some believe it was hidden in a secret chamber beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, while others suggest that it was taken to Ethiopia, where it is purportedly housed in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum. The mystery of the Ark's disappearance persists, not just because of the object's religious significance, but because its loss is tied to a larger mystery of ancient history itself, an enigma that may never be solved. Another vanishing act with equally strange consequences involves the Amber Room, a stunning work of art made entirely of amber, gold leaf, and mirrors. It was originally constructed in the 18th century in Russia and displayed at the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo. Described as the eighth wonder of the world, it dazzled visitors with its opulent beauty. But in 1941, as Nazi forces advanced through Europe during World War II, the Amber Room disappeared. It is believed that the Nazis looted it and transported it to Germany, but after the war, it simply vanished. Despite decades of searching and many theories, from claims that it was hidden in secret locations to suggestions that it was lost in transit, the Amber Room has never been found. Theories range from the plausible to the fantastical. Some believe it may have been destroyed in a bomb raid, while others suggest it was buried in the ruins of Königsberg, now Kaliningrad, Russia. The continued mystery surrounding its fate only adds to the allure and enigma of this lost treasure. In more recent times, the disappearance of the Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 has captivated the world. On March 8, 2014, the plane vanished from radar screens during a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, with 239 people aboard. Despite an extensive international search, the aircraft's final location remains unknown, and only small pieces of debris have been found washed up on distant shores. Numerous theories have been proposed about what might have happened. Some believe the plane was hijacked, while others suggest that a mechanical failure or pilot error could be to blame. The vastness of the Indian Ocean and the lack of definitive evidence have created a chilling mystery, with the families of the passengers still searching for closure. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing and heartbreaking modern-day disappearances, illustrating the limits of modern technology and human knowledge when confronted with the vast, unpredictable nature of the world. Objects that have vanished from history are not always as famous as the Ark or the Amber Room. In fact, there are countless smaller, seemingly insignificant items that have mysteriously disappeared and left behind only questions. Take, for instance, the disappearance of the Civil War submarine, the H.L. Hunley. In 1864, this Confederate submarine successfully sunk the Union ship, the USS Housatonic, but shortly thereafter, the Hunley itself vanished. Despite several expeditions to find the wreck, it wasn't until 1995 that the submarine was finally discovered off the coast of South Carolina, nearly a century and a half later. The mystery of the Hunley's disappearance, why it sank, and how it evaded detection for so long, remains a compelling puzzle, offering a glimpse into the unknown aspects of maritime history. Then there's the curious case of the Dyatlov Pass incident in 1959, where a group of experienced hikers in the Ural Mountains of Russia mysteriously died under strange and unexplained circumstances. The hikers' tent was found torn open from the inside, and their bodies were discovered scattered across the snow, some without shoes, others with severe internal injuries but no external wounds. Theories about their deaths have ranged from an avalanche to a military experiment gone wrong. And yet, despite years of investigation, the truth remains elusive. The disappearance of the hikers' lives and the strange, almost surreal circumstances surrounding their deaths continue to haunt investigators and intrigue the public. This tragic event, like so many others, serves as a reminder of the many unsolved mysteries that lie just beyond our grasp. The history of lost or vanished objects also points to a more subtle mystery: the human desire to possess and preserve. Many of these artifacts, whether religious relics or works of art, are imbued with cultural or symbolic meaning that makes their loss feel even more poignant. But just as there are objects that disappear, there are also those that inexplicably reappear, often under circumstances that defy logical explanation. The recovery of lost items, particularly artifacts with cultural or historical importance, often carries with it an aura of mystery. Sometimes these items are returned anonymously, their return remaining shrouded in secrecy, adding another layer to the enigma of their loss. In some cases, these vanished objects are not so much lost as they are hidden, intentionally removed from the public eye. Artifacts from ancient civilizations, such as the Babylonian Ishtar Gate, were once thought to be lost, but were later rediscovered under the sands of Iraq. Others, like the Mona Lisa, have been stolen and recovered, only to again disappear under strange circumstances. In every case, there is a gap, an absence, that invites speculation, wonder, and even a sense of grief. These objects, whether they are religious relics, ancient artworks, or everyday possessions, are not merely lost. They are mysteries in themselves, each one connected to a broader narrative that we can only partially comprehend. What is it about these vanished objects that continues to captivate us? Perhaps it is the sense of something precious slipping away, leaving behind only traces of what was once there. It is a reminder of the fragility of human endeavors, of the sometimes fleeting nature of even the most significant accomplishments. The mystery of the missing, the Ark, the Amber Room, MH370, the Dyatlov hikers, speaks to the human tendency to search for meaning, to piece together fragments of the unknown, even when the answers seem impossible to attain. The disappearance of objects is a quiet reminder of the vastness of the world, the limits of our understanding, and the unpredictability of fate. Some objects, it seems, are meant to remain hidden forever, either by design or circumstance. Others may one day be discovered, but that moment may be far off, or it may never come at all. In this space of mystery and longing, the questions persist. Where did it go? What happened to it? And perhaps most haunting of all, what if we never know? Throughout history, some of the greatest minds in science, mathematics, and philosophy have wrestled with the profound mysteries of existence. These individuals, driven by curiosity and the desire to uncover the unknown, have shaped the very course of human understanding. From the intricate laws of nature to the vast mysteries of space, their efforts have illuminated many corners of our world, yet countless questions remain unresolved. As the pursuit of knowledge continues, the individuals who dive into these unsolved enigmas serve as both guides and challengers of the status quo, illuminating paths into the unknown with persistence and insight. One of the most iconic figures in the search for understanding is Albert Einstein, whose theories of relativity revolutionized our comprehension of space, time, and gravity. Einstein's mind was one that could conceptualize the universe in ways that most could not fathom, giving rise to equations and models that altered the very foundation of physics. Yet, even as he unlocked some of the universe's deepest secrets, he also acknowledged the vastness of what remained unknown. His famous quote, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know," encapsulated his view that every answer uncovered only led to more questions. For Einstein, the mysteries of the cosmos were not barriers to understanding, but invitations to deeper inquiry, a perspective that still drives modern scientific exploration today. Similarly, the groundbreaking work of Marie Curie, who discovered the radioactive elements polonium and radium, opened entirely new realms of possibility for science. Curie's pioneering research in radiation and her ability to perceive the invisible forces that shape the physical world led to transformative advances in both medicine and physics. Her work, however, also raised new mysteries, questions about the nature of matter, energy, and the hidden forces that govern life itself. The discovery of radioactivity, for instance, opened the door to nuclear physics, yet also revealed unsettling questions about the health risks of radiation and its long-term effects on living organisms. Curie's relentless curiosity laid the foundation for understanding energy on an atomic scale, but it also reminded us that the very tools we use to uncover mysteries can pose new, unforeseen questions. The search for answers has also been shaped by those who venture into realms that science cannot always define or measure. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, explored the depths of the human mind, delving into the collective unconscious and archetypes that shape our psychological and emotional lives. Jung believed that the mysteries of the psyche could be understood through symbolism and myth, suggesting that humans have a deep, instinctual connection to forces far beyond our conscious awareness. His work on the unexplained phenomena of dreams, archetypes, and synchronicity opened a new path for understanding the mind. While his theories were controversial and largely dismissed by the scientific community in his time, today they continue to resonate with those who seek to understand the deeper, hidden aspects of human consciousness. Another intellectual titan whose work illuminated the vast unknown was Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor and engineer whose insights into electricity and magnetism reshaped modern technology. Tesla's vision of wireless communication and the possibilities of energy transmission were revolutionary, but many of his ideas were considered too advanced or even eccentric by his contemporaries. Tesla's obsession with the concept of free energy, a limitless and free power source, led him to conduct experiments that remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe he discovered ways to harness energy from the Earth's natural forces, while others speculate that Tesla may have been on the brink of uncovering technologies that could alter the way we interact with the world. His secretive work, especially in his later years, continues to fuel theories and intrigue, suggesting that there are still mysteries embedded in his discoveries that have yet to be fully understood or revealed. In the realm of natural history and the unexplained, David Attenborough, the famed naturalist and broadcaster, has dedicated his life to documenting the beauty and complexity of the natural world. Through his documentaries, Attenborough has introduced millions to the mysteries of the animal kingdom and the ecosystems that sustain life on Earth. His work often reveals astonishing new behaviors, such as the migratory patterns of birds or the complex social structures of dolphins, that challenge our conventional understanding of nature. Yet for all that Attenborough has revealed, there remain countless species that are still unknown to science, some possibly on the brink of extinction before they are even discovered. Attenborough's work reminds us that for every answer we uncover, the natural world offers new questions and complexities, inviting us to explore deeper into its many mysteries. At the same time, scientists like Stephen Hawking, who explore the nature of black holes, the origin of the universe, and the concept of time itself, have expanded our understanding of the cosmos. His work on the theoretical physics of black holes, for example, led to the concept of Hawking radiation, which suggested that black holes could emit radiation and eventually evaporate. This insight, groundbreaking in its scope, raised even more fundamental questions about the nature of space, time, and existence itself. Hawking's exploration of the universe's origins, particularly his work on the Big Bang Theory and his search for a unified theory of everything, has left a lasting impact on our understanding of the cosmos. Yet even Hawking himself acknowledged that there is still so much to learn. His final message, that the search for understanding is a journey without end, serves as an inspiration for future generations of scientists who will continue to probe the unknown. There are also those who venture into the mysteries of human history, archaeology, and ancient civilizations, seeking to understand the lost cultures and technologies of the past. Graham Hancock, an author and researcher, has long challenged the mainstream narrative of ancient human history, suggesting that an advanced civilization may have existed long before recorded history. His theories about ancient structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza, Machu Picchu, and Göbekli Tepe raise fundamental questions about our understanding of human progress. Did a highly advanced civilization exist thousands of years ago? And, if so, what happened to it? Hancock's work provokes thought and discussion, sparking curiosity about ancient mysteries that traditional archaeology has yet to fully explain. His work reflects the belief that there is still much to learn about our own origins, hidden beneath the layers of time and history. Even in the modern era, where technology and scientific tools have made so many mysteries solvable, there are those who remain on the fringes, diving into the unknown with a fearless resolve. Elon Musk, for example, has made it his life's work to explore the vast frontier of space through his company SpaceX, with the goal of not only sending humans to Mars, but establishing a sustainable presence there. Musk's vision is to answer questions about the possibility of human life beyond Earth, to seek out new worlds where life could potentially thrive. Yet even as technology advances, the mystery of space remains enormous. We are still in the early stages of understanding the universe's true scope, and with every step we take toward exploring other planets, new questions emerge about alien life, the nature of dark matter, and the future of humanity itself. These individuals, whether from the realms of science, psychology, history, or technology, share a common thread. They have dedicated their lives to peeling back the layers of the unknown. Their work, often at the edge of current understanding, provides us with glimpses of the mysteries that remain hidden from view. They remind us that every answer leads to new questions, and that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing, never-ending journey. The minds behind the mysteries are not just explorers of the unknown, but also seekers of meaning, each one contributing to a collective effort to understand the world in all its complexity. As we look to the future, it is clear that the mysteries of the universe will continue to fascinate and perplex us. New minds will arise, inspired by the work of those who came before, and they too will contribute to the grand narrative of human discovery. In the quiet pursuit of answers, we continue to be drawn toward the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding, knowing that with each new discovery, there is always more to explore. As our journey through the mysteries of the world draws to a close, it becomes clear that the unknown is not a void to fear, but a quiet, fertile space where curiosity and imagination intertwine. From vanished civilizations and enigmatic objects to the uncharted depths of human consciousness, the questions we have explored are not merely puzzles. They are mirrors reflecting the limits of our understanding and the enduring richness of our curiosity. In contemplating these mysteries, we are reminded that knowledge is never absolute. Every answer uncovered gives rise to new questions, and every certainty is accompanied by the shadow of doubt. There is a serene beauty in this uncertainty, a gentle reminder that the world is far larger and more intricate than our minds can fully grasp. Perhaps the most striking feature of unsolved mysteries is their ability to evoke a sense of connection across time and space. Ancient artifacts like the Antikythera mechanism or the spherical stones of Central America are more than historical curiosities. They are tangible reminders of the minds that came before us, of the ingenuity and creativity that have shaped human history. They speak across centuries, inviting us to imagine the hands that crafted them, the intentions that guided them, and the worlds in which they existed. Even without definitive explanations, these artifacts link us to our ancestors, offering a quiet communion with the past and a reminder that curiosity is a thread woven through human experience, unbroken across generations. The vanished, the lost colonies, missing planes, and unexplained disappearances carry a different kind of resonance. They confront us with absence, with the stark reminder that life is unpredictable and fragile. There is a certain humility in recognizing that, despite our technology, our knowledge, and our careful planning, some events remain beyond our control or comprehension. These vanishings, whether human, object, or natural, encourage reflection on the delicate balance between presence and absence. They evoke empathy, a quiet vigilance, and a meditative patience that allows us to dwell in questions without the urgency of immediate resolution. In this space, mystery becomes a teacher, urging us to acknowledge our limits while nurturing the enduring desire to understand. The natural world offers yet another layer of contemplation. From creatures that exist just beyond the reach of observation to patterns embedded in nature itself, there's a profound lesson in paying attention to subtlety. The Fibonacci sequence in a flower, the migratory instinct of birds, or the intelligence of a dolphin demonstrates that life possesses layers of order and complexity that we are only beginning to comprehend. Yet, for every pattern we discern, there remain anomalies that defy explanation. In this duality, the interplay of structure and unpredictability, we find a quiet rhythm, a gentle harmony that underscores the mystery inherent in the living world. It reminds us that curiosity and reverence are as necessary as observation and study. The human mind itself, with its dreams, intuitions, and unexplained phenomena, exemplifies the intimate nature of mystery. We have seen how consciousness can create experiences that are vivid yet defy empirical explanation, how memory can be both fluid and precise, and how intuition can guide understanding in ways science has yet to fully explain. In exploring these enigmas, we come to recognize that the mind is a universe unto itself, filled with uncharted territory, hidden capacities, and infinite questions. Reflection on the mind's mysteries encourages calm introspection, allowing us to appreciate the subtleties of perception, imagination, and consciousness without demanding definitive answers. Numbers and patterns further remind us of the vast interplay between certainty and uncertainty. From prime numbers to the irrational infinity of pi, mathematics represents both human achievement and the enduring complexity of the universe. Numbers are precise and logical, yet their applications and implications can reach into realms that remain mysterious, from the formation of galaxies to the intricate designs of life itself. In contemplating these patterns, we are drawn into a quiet dialogue with the cosmos, recognizing the elegance of order while accepting the inevitability of unknowns. The language of numbers thus becomes a bridge, connecting human curiosity to the vast expanse of natural and cosmic phenomena. In reflecting on the minds behind these mysteries, we recognize the persistence, creativity, and humility that define human inquiry. Figures like Einstein, Curie, Tesla, and Hawking remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is never straightforward. It is a path of discovery punctuated by questions that challenge assumptions and push boundaries. These thinkers demonstrate that mystery is not an obstacle, but a catalyst, a spark that inspires the continuous search for understanding. In their dedication, we find a lesson for our own engagement with the unknown. Curiosity, patience, and resilience are as valuable as answers, and the journey toward comprehension is often more enlightening than any final conclusion. Ultimately, the mysteries we have explored invite a broader reflection on the nature of human experience. They teach us that life is an intricate interplay of the known and the unknown, the tangible and the intangible. They remind us to approach the world with humility, to observe attentively, and to embrace uncertainty with grace. Unsolved mysteries are not failures of knowledge. They are invitations to wonder, to pause, and to marvel at the depth of existence. In this calm contemplation, the unknown becomes a source of inspiration, a space where imagination, curiosity, and reverence coexist, gently expanding our understanding of the world and our place within it. As we consider vanished artifacts, unexplainable phenomena, and enigmatic minds, a pattern emerges. The mysteries that endure are those that resist closure. They are not meant to be fully explained, at least not immediately. Instead, they invite us into an ongoing conversation, a quiet engagement with the unknown that encourages reflection rather than resolution.